Hello and welcome everybody to this awesome game of the Dota League season number 3. It's gonna be the Asian Division 1 first departure versus Titan. It should be probably one of the most exciting matches you can actually hope for in this division. So I'm just hoping for great things. As always, of course, I mean, you never want boring games. Unless you're a little bit just... something's wrong with your head. But in any case, we're HeflaTV. I'm Coucher and I'm joined by Mr. Blackadder.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the second series we've cast today involving Titan, and Titan versus First Departure, as Coach mentioned, going to be one of the better ones, we reckon. From where we stand, we've seen some interesting strategies so far today, including the healing strategy with Mushi playing a Treant Protector as well, but let's see if they can't show us something a little bit different in this one, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Titan, they've been rather busy even after having played the series against Invasion, because I do believe they had at least 2 games in the Star series as well after that. They just finished one versus Insidious Idol where they won. So at least coming into this with some momentum. But we're gonna see Faceless Void for First Departure, and is it gonna be the Skyrift Mage to combo it up with? I mean, up against the Brewmaster, it would be just such a great pick all in all.
Yeah, I would expect the Skyrift Mage just for the sheer power of the Ancient Seal versus Brewmaster. Brewmaster blinks in, instant Ancient Seal.
Doombringer is also available still.
Doom could be another good pick as well, but then you're showing your hand with 2 cores immediately.
Shadow Shaman.
Not going to be either, though. We actually get a Shadow Shaman, which is a slight confusion to me. Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to be an instant pick Doom to deal with the Faceless Void and his pesky ability to backtrack damage. So I don't see any reason why First Departure would opt for the Shadow Shaman, unless they really just want to force towers.
Yeah, I mean, of course, having the ability to force towers is always nice, but Razor banned out, as is the Viper actually, so 2 heroes that usually just build for mech like Early Aggression banned. Death Prophet also taken out, as is the Lycan. I guess Nature Prophet will be available if that is gonna be their choice. Jakiro always a possibility, especially with the Faceless Void. But I just... well, it's nice that we can't 100% predict the picks, I guess, but... man,
I'm surprised at this point, this far into a patch, that we can't predict the picks, but of course, the players know a lot more than we do.
Yeah, they 100% do indeed, but actually a Lone Druid ban now by First Departure, that's something you don't see every day nowadays.
It's a more targeted one, since we've seen Titan actually run a Lone Druid so far today. They were running a mid Lone Druid by KYXY, I believe that was in game number 2, between Titan and...
it was game 1 versus Invasion, but...
okay, game 1 versus Invasion.
Yeah, but it was the right lane and the right player.
Okay, well, we do get the Nature's Prophet pick up for First Departure and an immediate Rubik pick after that. We're going quick. We've got Venomancer now for First Departure, so we're looking for all-in push potentially here from First Departure, plus the Void to set up with Chrono if it's necessary.
Oh man, they actually have now a pretty nice amount of push, or not even a pretty nice, but pretty sick amount even for First Departure. Also AoE, Poison Nova into the Chronosphere, just getting the slows, trying to kite around Doombringer possibly. I mean, even with the Scorched Earth, if you get hit by Venom Scale, 50% movement speed reduction, it's gonna be enough to just make it so that the Doombringer can't follow up, at least not well enough. So, Titan, 4th pick about to come, already having a Rubik. It's not a bad hero by any means, just a standard support, solid overall. But where the hell do they go for now?
Sand King, they're just looking for the initiation power, and with the Sand King, they can just come in and they can disrupt the Nature's Prophet. The long-range initiation potential of a Sand King with a Blink Dagger, it's going to be a very worrying thing, and honestly, you've got to consider First Departure's lineup is incredibly squishy. They've got a Shadow Shaman, a Nature's Prophet, and a Venomancer. All these heroes have sub 800 initial starting HP. Sub 600, maybe even. I'll have to think about that one for a second, but either way, a squishy lineup. And honestly, First Departure will need either a way to tank up or the ability to go all in with their level of push. But if you want to really push into Titan's lineup, it's going to be very difficult, because you're going to be fighting into a Brewmaster, there's the Thunderclap, Doom, and Epicenter. It's not going to be an easy one by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, it certainly is not, and I guess First Departure might just try to kind of rat it out. Nature Prophet pushing out one lane, whereas the rest of the 4 pushing out another. As long as human impossible and Nature Prophet just TPs in for a fight if it actually does break out. But look at the last bans. Witch Doctor was actually banned from Titan. A hero that synergizes greatly with Faceless Void, as well as helps with the pushing with Wood Restoration. I really like Wood Restoration against Doombringer overall as well. Whoever gets doomed can actually stay alive, but an Abaddon pick now for First Departure.
I like this Abaddon. It can then come in with the healing factor of the Mist Coil, look to just help push these lanes, and he's a very hard hero to bring down, even with a Doom. It's the right choice in my mind here.
Yeah, I've seen, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think first Departure they once ran even a lineup like Abaddon, Undying, plus whatever heroes. So, I mean, always nice to see something different. And one thing that really pops to my mind is, the past 2-3 days, we've seen a crazy amount of Venomancer.
Yeah, I think we've had a Venomancer in, I want to say, out of the 10 games we've cast, 9 games have contained a Venomancer. I'd have to look back at my book of the previous games we've had so far this week, but I think it's up there. It's at least in the 80% range.
Yeah, I mean, I actually saw Titan playing it in the last game versus City's Idol just now before this series as well, so really just rising in popularity. And of course, I mean, pushing has been the thing for quite some time at the moment. But Titan, the last pick, they have a solid 1 minute 10 seconds left for the reserve time, but what position do they actually need? I guess safe lane farm, possibly a mid laner?
Well, I reckon, considering this is Titan, we could be seeing off-lane Brewmaster, safe-lane Doom with a Rubik and a Sand King to support it. I'm thinking OD, just because of the large amount of damage potential an OD has here. Ah, it's going to just be the other one. I was thinking OD, you get your pure damage, you get your Santi's Eclipse, you can just go aggressive. Instead, we get a Timbersaw, and this is probably going to... I was going to say Mushi Timbersaw, apparently not, it's a Mushi Doom, but with the Timbersaw pickup, a lot of pure damage, a lot of ability to burst down targets. It's going to shred the Nature's Prophet, it's going to destroy the Venomancer and the Shadow Shaman. Abaddon, sure, he's got his ability to survive with that borrowed time for a little bit longer, but the level of damage coming out of a Timbersaw is going to be very scary, and it's going to be Ohio on that, so he's the offlane specialist. I like the draft out of Titan, I seriously do.
Yeah, I mean, the Timbersaw just offers them the amount of counter push possibly necessary to actually stop first departure. Plague Wards, as well as Mass Serpent Wards, yes, they will still be able to just deal out the damage, and actually Titan, they have 4 melee heroes, which might be a little bit of a downfall when the Faceless Void just finds them all clumped up, but all in all, with a Fate Bolt and just the Chakram from Timbersaw should already be enough to stop most pushes.
I'd be in complete agreement with that one, but it's going to be an interesting game nonetheless, I think. It's going to be a case of pushy style of aggression from First Departure versus just the ability to team fight from Titan. But on that note, let's introduce the players, shall we?
Yes, for First Departure, on the Radiant side, KS will be playing on a Venomancer. He's usually the mid lane player, with Tafa on the Faceless Void, Kai to play the support, Abaddon leaving Lobby on the Shadow Shaman, and the last one, Miracle, will be playing that Nature's Prophet.
And on the flip side of this coin, over for Titan, we've got Extinct going to be handling the Sand King. They've got in the jungle, Mushi, well, near the jungle. I don't think he's actually going to be jungling this Doom, but he'll be handling Doombringer for the side of Titan. We've got KYXY in that mid lane on the Brewmaster, ready to block it up. WTF on the Rubik, and finally, down setting up wards already is Ohio on that Timber. But we do have a 5-man jungle invasion potentially coming out of the lineup from First Departure. But Mushi's well enough away. He's realised what's going on. He's just going to rotate away from any level of danger.
Yeah, and you can already see WTF, he saved the money at first, but now he purchased the Sentry Wards. So they knew that it was highly likely that it's going to happen, and they are ready for it. And actually, one thing is that, especially for the big camp, this Sentry Ward here, it is such a common position, and yeah, WTF, he's heading straight for it. Extinct gonna come and eat 3 and just get rid of the Sentry, or at least that's what he's probably gonna do at the moment.
We've seen this position for a ward, though, multiple times in the last few days. We actually saw it yesterday in the matchups between Titan and what was the last series? It was Titan versus Insidious Idol. Yeah, they used to use that ward spot to block it out every time there was any hero that could take the jungle, specifically the Sand King, because of how quickly you can jungle up with the hard camps.
Yeah, it's actually, they did exactly the same move just against Insidious Idol in the previous series, in Star Series. Literally, Extinct was also on the Sand King, ate the same tree, and he warded just like that. It's like rinse and repeat, different game, but same moves.
When you consider the dire side jungle, Sand King's going to be stacking and pulling that camp, considering the pull camp near the top lane, it's too easy to be disrupted by the enemy, so it does pay off. But as we stand right now, considering this bottom lane, you've got Mikasa just looking to push this up as much as possible. He's got a DD rune, and it's going to be him and Lubby up against Ohio on that Timber. Now, I can't help but think Ohio's going to have a distinct advantage on this lane. Sure, he's getting harassed now, but as he starts getting levels, Timbersaw is going to be a big force of nature in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Lobby probably not gonna have the best time. Early on, when the Timbersaw isn't yet level 2 or 3 maybe even, Lobby can put some harassment on. I mean, Shock is a pretty cost-efficient nuke. 95 mana for 140 damage. Of course, Lobby's mana pool not the greatest on Shadow Shaman, but Nature's Prophet can't do much of anything to help Lobby out with the harass.
I'll completely agree to that one, yeah. And it's just a case of they want to get this as much CS on this lane as possible. Going to try to harass back the Timbersaw so he can't get too much in terms of experience, and they want that tower early. That is their goal here. Get the tower before Ohio gets his chakram up.
Oh, TP mid lane KY might be in some trouble. KS is trying to body block as well. A few more right clicks and they're gonna get the first blood. Actually, it was split, the creeps getting it, but I mean, they're fine. They're gonna get the gold for it anyway. And look at the Venomancer. KS, he even went for an orb of Venom.
This is the aggressive style of build from a Venomancer. Generally, however, we only see this when there are no Plague Wards in the logic of the build, and we're not seeing any Plague Wards skill-wise at this point in time. We're going High Point Scale and Poison Sting, so we're just looking for the fighter type instead of the pushing type of Venomancer. I've not seen a Venomancer like this in quite some time, though. At least, I want to say at least a few months. And thing is, when you consider a Venomancer in this kind of role, speaking of Venomancer, going to get gone on by Extinct, and one Thunderclap to clean that up. KYXY got slightly annoyed that he was killed, and he will now get vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, the Invis rune just setting it up so perfect for them. Lobby not gonna get the shackles onto Ohio. So Ohio is gonna be fine with the bottom lane as well, already level 3. Really nice kill on mid lane, of course, getting that revenge at the moment, getting KYXY a little bit closer to that level 6, the primal split. And actually, once he gets the primal split, it's gonna be rather hard. Actually, Ohio might be in some trouble. Can he eat his way through? He has some tangles. The treants are created. A few more right clicks, that's all they need. Will the reactive armor actually be enough, man? It's pretty annoying. 8 stacks of it. The health regeneration is gonna be there, but it's blocked in and does take a fall.
No escape from that, unfortunately. He was trying to soak as much experience as possible, but Mikasa as well as Lubby were well on top of the situation.
Okay, but my point was, or what I was trying to aim at, is that KYXY, once he gets at level 6, KS, he should not be able to kill off the Brewmaster. Yes, maybe force the primal split, but that's about it.
I'm inclined to agree with you, since he'll just primal split and then he'll be immune to the poisons ticking away on the main hero, but you can just see how much harassment can be thrown into KYXY before he gets at level 6. KS just comes forward with that Gale, starts right-clicking away, and just the damage of these damage over times ticks are just far too much. They're going to force KYXY out repeatedly in this lane, and honestly, this is actually quite a novel way to deal with the problem of a Brewmaster, because generally Brewmaster will come forward, get very aggressive, use the Thunderclap, and start trying to crit you with the Drunken Brawler passive, considering if you don't strike for 10 seconds, it's a guaranteed crit.
Yeah, and actually he is maxing out Venomous Scale as well, which is something I haven't seen for a really long time, to be honest. Kai might be overextending a little bit, going for Extinct. Extinct actually has to waste some mana before striking up to the high ground, so mission accomplished for Kai, and might even... yeah, he's scouting the stack situation. Oh, they're Skeleton Warriors! That is pretty bad. I'm not too sure if Titan actually are aware of this.
I'm not sure either. I don't think they know anything about this, and you can see the Doom rotating in to try to deal with it, but it's a little bit too late in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate for Extinct at the moment. Definitely gonna slow down his Blink there, although he already has 1k gold, so not doing all that bad, but no other camps are stacked for him.
It's unfortunate, though, that the stacks are so, in some ways, lacking, considering. I mean, if there were more stacks, the Sand King could then rapidly look towards getting that dagger, but for now, it's going to be a case of Extinct just wants to rotate around the map.
KYXY, Miracle came in as well. Actually, GM body block, will it be enough? Brewmaster doesn't have enough mana for the primal split, and BAM! Easy kill. Kai comes in for the kill secure with the Mist Coil.
Well, that's the strength of Abaddon. He does have the potential for heal or harm, and if we can keep seeing rotations like that to keep KYXY's Brewmaster in check, that's going to be absolutely perfect. But in the meantime, we do get another attempt. They're going to go for Mushi this time. He's got that Hellfire ticking away, but too many right clicks, too many dots. Down goes the Doom.
Wow, this early game is just going excellently for first departure. This Venomancer is working out wonders. And actually, I mean, we were talking about that the Brewmaster shouldn't die when he's level 6, but we really didn't account for him to actually run out of mana using the Thunderclap maybe one too many times. So, overextended a little bit, or underestimated the just potential of a Venomancer plus the global presence of a Nature's Prophet. So really nice kills for departure, 4-2 already ahead in this game. And it's only 6 minutes in, of course, so we can't say too much. But since Ohio, he's about to hit level 6, and Chakram Timbersaw is a hell of a lot different than one without.
Very true, and we did see the Timbersaw actually get a kill there on the Shadow Shaman when we were focusing on mid lane. It kills across 2 lanes, and from where we stand, it's actually quite nice here for Titan to be able to get a solo kill with the Timbersaw after having such a rough start. I mean, he got picked off fairly quickly. It was very unpleasant for the Timber, but now the Timber is a whole different force of nature. And he's going to be hunting down that bottom lane, potentially for Lubby, especially when he's got Extinct lurking around with an invisibility rune as well.
Yeah, that's his second Invis rune already, which is just one of the best runes to get if you want to gank, of course. You can easily get into range, or at least shoot. The Plague Wards, I think they saw Ohio. Yes, the pinks come out as well. Extinct, of course, Invis rune is about to wear off, so that's just going to be fine with the Treants helping out a little bit with the scouting. But at the moment, looking at Nature's Prophet, man, just the standard triple null talisman.
Well, they're going to go for a go here. WCF does throw Dapper up into the air, but in comes the right clicks from Mikasa, and that's going to be enough to clean them up inside the Chronosphere. Are they going to continue for Mushi, though? I don't think they have enough to actually finish them off. Then again, they get another Sprout. It's going to buy a little bit of time, but in comes the mass TP reaction. But now with Timbersaw chasing, this could be more than enough to bring down Mikasa. That's going to be 2 hits, 3 hits, make that 4 with that Timber Chain. But in comes the potential for a turnaround. They got Kai here with that healing factor of the Mist Coil, as well as the Aphotic Shield. This is going to be more than enough in my mind to finish off Ohio, and he will get brought down by the Abaddon and that Mist Coil. Now they're going to look for Mushi. Venomous Gale comes in as well. KS is here, and this could be the start of that Death Ball push. That's 3 kills there off the back of a turnaround, and this is where the unpleasantness comes in for Titan. All 5 members near enough are up here, and they want blood. They want that tower, and that tower will fall in a very short amount of time. Equally, bottom lane, Lubby. He realizes there's no one here. Mass Serpent Wards, let's take another tower. That's potentially 2 towers within 7-8 minutes here.
That is actually huge, and Nature's Prophet, he does a lot of damage with Powered Resonant, triple null talisman plus a Robe of Magi. So he's actually going for the Blade Mail at the moment. I thought for a second maybe rush an Orchid to deal with both the Brewmaster as well as the Timbersaw, but Blade Mail against Timbersaw is a tool that Timbersaw has to be really wary of. If he oversteps his boundaries, he's gonna die. And it's already finished as well, 8 minutes in, and just at early level 6 on Lobby, just because Miracle was TPing away onto other lanes, setting up kills there. Allowed Shadow Shaman, yes, he did die once, but still, getting at early level 6, Mass Serpent Wards. Just excellent.
They're looking for Ohio. Ohio could go down here. The Blade Mail's now up, and as you mentioned, he's taking so much damage from that, but there is the telekinesis there from the Rubik to try to buy some time. In comes the Nature's Wrath, though. Is that going to be enough to bounce? It does good damage, but Ohio survives with less than 10 health. Now in comes KYXY, though. He wants to start beating on Kai. In comes the Primal Split. Do they have the borrowed time? No, they don't. Kai does not have that, and he will take a fall. But Void's now thrown in the air. Can he escape from this one? I don't think he has a Time Walk. Yes, he does, actually, but it doesn't matter. In comes a stun from Extinct, and that'll clean up the Faceless Void to boot.
So, looks like first departure. Overstayed their welcome just a little bit there. They, of course, had been on the top lane for a really long time. And Primal Split, such a great tool early on. It's so hard to actually fight into that, no matter the lineup. And Doom now, he's level 6, he has himself an ultimate. So they are also getting their own things online, just to be able to fight, but they're losing it in another tower now in the mid lane.
Well, this is the strength of the lineup. They can be everywhere at once, especially with Mikasa on their Nature's Prophet. And we've got to consider, at 8 minutes, he had 3 null talismans, treads, and a blade mail. That is a very rich Nature's Prophet, and that's off the back of getting those 2 towers and the kills a few minutes ago. More importantly, though, when that happened, 3 sets of arcane boots came online for first departure.
Oh wow, this is just sustain. They never want to stop pushing, at least not for the reasons of lacking mana. And Mass Serpent Wards for the tier 2 treants created as well. They will have WTF with the Fate Bolt, trying to just divert the push, but Plague Wards level 2, so not the craziest amount of damage, and Mass Serpent Wards look to be just getting farmed up.
Mass Serpent Wards will start to get brought down, sure, but this is an infinite push engine kind of build out of first departure. Now in comes the Nature's Wrath, as well as the Venom Scale. They're going to try to bring down Mushi. He got blocked out by that Serpent Ward, and that's going to bring down the Doom. Now without Doom, it's going to be a very difficult one for them to fight. KYXY going to try to look for Kai, but does Kai have borrowed time now? Yes, he does. So he's going to be much harder to bring down. In comes the damage from Ohio. You've got Extinct there as well. Borrowed time triggers. They're not going to hit that Abaddon now and at least want to bring him down at the end of it. But in the back lines of this fight, you've got Ohio. He's going to be going down to Mikasa and Lubby. Now the Blade Mail's popped as well. That's just going to hasten his demise. And from here on in, this tier 2 is going to fall.
Well, it's the death fall. It is real, and Titan, I actually thought that they have the ability to fight into it, but getting Mushi down, no Doom, as well as having the Primal Split on cooldown meant it that tier 2 down, 4 towers have fallen within 11 minutes time. And looking at the graphs, it is almost a 10,000 gold lead already for first departure. XP 3,000, so not as big, but holy crap man, 10k gold lead 11 minutes in.
It's a huge advantage, and it's the kind of thing that, as we mentioned, snowballs out of control incredibly quick. And I'm thinking, how can Titan stop this? They have all of their ultimates available now. They've got things like Spell Steal as well, so they can use the enemy's tools against them. But if you use, let's say, the damage that a Timber Saw can present, you have to be wary of the Blade Mail, because Ohio can go down very quickly. Speaking of Ohio, he will be the focus here of Dafa as well as KS, and this is going to be a very dead Timber Saw, and there's no way to survive that one. But just look at the positioning. They'll take that one very near the tier 2, and they're just going to continue the push. This is a relentless push engine. It never stops.
Yeah, they have Mass Serpent Wars as well, but Lobby doesn't want to use it just because WTF could steal it. Oh, Blink Thunderclap Miracle! He's going to go down almost immediately. 600 gold given away KS. He's slowed down as well. He can't TP out. Boulder Toss catches him, and well, looks like they're going to lose a couple. At least 2 more to Tough as well. There's no escape anymore. Mass Serpent Wars are down, but they're going to defend the tower. A triple kill for KYXY, and that is exactly how they need to fight to be able to defend.
Exactly. That was a case of they came in with a surgical knife instead of a blunt hammer. They came in with a goal. They picked off the heroes they needed. They burst them down with KYXY, used the Primal Split, and then it was all over. And the other thing I will point out, the Nature's Prophet got his Blade Mail off at the very end of it. Blade Mail can only do as much damage as you have total of life. Getting the Blade Mail popped that late is just not going to do a thing.
Yeah, and not only that, he actually joined the fight or TP into the mid, and oh, what? He is overextending once again. Blade Mail activated, but I think this around Ohio actually drops down to Alpha HP because, well, he did it to himself, but I think they want to go on Burrow Strike, Timber Chain through, and well, Miracle. He went down again.
That's the problem there. But from where we stand, Extinct on point with that Blink Dagger, and the Blink Dagger Sand King this early in the game is probably going to be the saving grace here of Titan.
Well, it's safe to say that first departure have overextended a little bit, but actually mid lane tower it did get denied. Yes, a little bit less gold for first departure, but the map control is still very much the same for them, so it's still looking good. Titan, they are finding their openings. Midas finished on Mushi as well on top of that great fight for the mid-tier tower. And now, what are the next steps? I mean, looks like Dafa working towards an Aghanim Scepter on the Faceless Void. Miracle towards an Orchid, but less than halfway through. KS still working towards his mech as well, since, well, their depths slowing everything down, but should they wait for the mech before the next push, or what's the next step for first departure now?
I think if they wait for the mech, that'll give them more than enough time to maybe get a level or 2 extra, then come in with the mech, and now they've also got the Blink Dagger for the Shadow Shaman. That might be the option here, and that will at least help them in getting the tower push and getting the initiation they want. Because if they want to hex anyone off the back of that Blink Dagger, it's going to be Mushi on the Doom or KYXY on the Brewmaster. Lock down one of those, it absolutely obliterates the teamfight potential of Titan. They need the Doom and the Primal Split plus Thunderclap combo to go off without a hitch.
Yeah, it's going to get a little bit easier if Mushi actually goes for that Blink Dagger now. He isn't all that far off, needs about 300 gold more, so if he gets the Blink Dagger, Blink Doom, and just try to follow from there in a fight, it's definitely going to be a great tool. And actually that's going to mean 3 Blink Daggers, Timber, so he can just Timber Chain his way in anyway. And the initiation power is definitely online for Titan. But are they even going to try to defend this tier 2 now? It sure looks like it.
It's going to be a very rough defense if they try this, because they'll need to catch Dafa. If that Faceless Void gets his Chronosphere off the back of this smoke, it's going to absolutely destroy Titan. They need to stop that Chronosphere going off, and they'll reveal the smoke. In comes the Blink over the top. The Primal Split comes out. Now we get the use of the Chronosphere. They're going to shred Ohio. He's not going to be able to get any damage in this one, and now Mushi's going to be the next focus. Primal Split and Epicenter's going in the backlines. Then they lose Miracle, but it doesn't matter in my mind. You've still got Dafa rotating around doing what damage he can, as well as Kai. That Doom is going to wear off in a few seconds, and then he'll be able to come back in with borrowed time without threat of it being cancelled. And now they're going to focus for Extinct. KS as well. He is still doing a lot of damage with these damage over time perks that the Venomancer has, and the extra kills going the way of first departure there. They lose themselves a Nature's Prophet, they kill a Timbersaw and a Sand King. Now they're going to get a tier 2 as well off the back of this one. And sure, you get the initiation power of Titan, but if they can't initiate and catch the Void, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a huge problem actually, and Lobby, now finally he pops his Mass Serpent Wars. I thought like, are they really holding on to it and actually going high ground after this? But no, Gonna be a tier 2 for them. Miracle, of course, respawning as well, can join the fight, and they can try to do some cheap damage, never mind, TPing back home, just farming up the next set of items, getting the next levels, maybe next ultimates. But 1-for-2 fight, I mean, yes, it wasn't horrible for Titan either, but considering they did get the Doom almost immediately up onto Abaddon, so no heals to come out from him. They killed off Miracle, of course. Epicenter onto one target, it's not the most optimal of things, but a huge source of damage. Ohio just got rendered useless.
Indeed, and with Ohio being caught out of position like that, it takes so much pure damage off the board of that Timbersaw. It's a huge thing, cannot be underestimated. But as I will point out, you may have all of the tools potentially in the game to initiate. You get your Blink Dagger, Sand King, Epicenter, you've got your Thunderclap Primal Split. You even could go Blink Doom, which we do see. If they can't get a good initiation on multiple heroes, it's all for nothing. They need to get the Blink Doom in on the Void. They equally need to get the Blink Thunderclap damage onto multiple targets. If they can't, and they only focus it on one, it's just an absolute waste of spells.
Yeah, it kind of is added as well. But who do you actually think is the primary, or should be the primary Doom target for Titan to just be able to secure them a easier position in the fight?
Definitely the Void. If they can take the Void's Chronosphere out, that means you're going to just see the Timbersaw also jump around. Sure, you've got some healing coming out of a Abaddon, but how much healing can Mistcoil actually put out in theory here? He can do 250 health in terms of healing every 5 seconds. So we assume 50 health per second, mathematically. That against the sheer damage potential of Titan, it's not a big problem in my mind, and that's only single target healing. It's nowhere near as threatening as, say, the healing strategy we saw out of Titan in the previous series we cast, with a Dazzle, a Witch Doctor, and a Treant Protector. You just focus down and kill out the Shadow Shaman and the Venomancer outright, same for the Nature's Prophet, while you've got the Void doomed and ignore the Abaddon.
Well, it's definitely, I mean, if they can avoid the Doom, or avoid the Chronosphere that it is, it's gonna be excellent, of course. Whether they can, it's another question, but they've smoked up. KS, he's on the bottom lane, spamming out the Plague Wards, although if he really gets stowed by 5 people, and yeah, Ohio, they want to go in, blink by Mushi as well, they find the Venomancer, but what are they gonna use? Poison Nova already activated, 2 heroes get hit by it as well. He's still alive, Mushi doesn't want to use his ultimate on Venomancer anymore, and Dafa, he comes in the Chronosphere, completely whiffs, actually catches no one at all, but they're gonna get the kills anyway. Shackles onto Ohio, the Chronosphere got stolen and actually used on Kai, but also the Storm Panda Extinct, he came in with the Epicenter, it was enough to bring down that one support, but Mushi level def, nope, he goes down to KS damage over time. Brewmaster, Primal Split ends, he's silenced up now by Miracle's Orchid, and he's gonna go down under the tower. A complete team wipe for one measly support.
Very much worth it for first departure there. So many things get merit in that fight that I have to mention. We had a Loda Sphere to which it was stolen and returned by the Rubik. Rubik teaching the Void how to use the Chronosphere was absolutely perfect to see. But what else did we see there? We saw KS survive that. He got his Poison Nova off and he completely survived. The lineup of Titan didn't guess correctly where the Venomancer was, and that was a big problem for them. Equally though, we saw the turnaround potential of First Departure. They had 2 of their heroes stuck in the stolen Chrono, and still they managed to turn this around. It was an absolute beautiful team fight coming out of First Departure.
Yeah, and man, they're not satisfied with only a team fight win. They want Roshan as well now. Miracle gonna TP in. Actually, can't create the Treant. Nature's Call still on cooldown, but Titan, they want to go in. I think they know this is going on, but they don't have any of their ultimates. I mean, yes, Timber's ultimate is there, but that's always up.
Well, we do now have the presence of a fight coming out of Titan. They're going to force this one back. However, they throw a poison, Venom Scale up onto that top lane just so the Extinct cannot get the Blink Dagger in with the Epicenter, but it does not matter on the back of this one. Ohio's going to be the focus now, and the Sand King is dead. This is just beautiful target calling out of First Departure. They realize, yes, the Sand King's the threat. He's the one with the stuns, and now they just come in, deal with Ohio. Chrono goes down as well to ensure the kill. And 2 easy kills going the way of Dafa, and now we're just going to see a push towards this bottom tier 3 in my mind. You get the objective of Roshan, you pick up a few kills, then you just go for the tier 3s. That's order of business there in a nutshell for First Departure.
Yeah, and once again, unfortunately, Lobby was the one to die. Actually, Mushi being able to chase him down before Miracle ended Mushi's life. And oh, look at Miracle. He's going for a Desolator now as well. More aggression, yes please. It's already finished now as well. These towers, they're not going to stand for long, but Extinct, he's going to have his Epicenter in only 7 seconds time. I think those racks actually might not fall yet, although Miracle with an Aegis, he's probably just fine enough tanking it in the front line.
I should think so. He's going to be fairly aggressive and fairly confident with that. But in comes the Burrow Strike. Going to buy time. Now we get the Primal Split coming with the Thunderclap, but I don't think it's going to be enough damage. Sure, you've got Miracle front lines tanking up a lot, but surely this isn't going to be too much, considering the Aegis is just going to bring him back. KS will go down, however. In comes the Mass Servant Walls, however, and the Chrono. This could be it. Titan, Ohio goes down. Mushi is going to be the next target, and just look how much damage is coming out of that Faceless Void. With an Aghanims and a Mask of Madness only, he is just shredding everyone. He's forcing Mushi back, and Mushi has no armor. He's got no hope for this one, and in the backlines, we do get the Nature's Prophet managed to pick up the double kill, but now with the Faceless Void cleaning up Doom, and now they're looking for Extinct as well. That's it. That's all she wrote. GG is called, and first departure take game one with an absolute show of force.
Man, it is really reminiscent of Invasion vs Titan game number 1. Was also a 22-minute GG, so 1 minute later, but man, Invasion going for the death ball, working out wonders for them. And I want to say it all started with, first of all, Venomancer excellent mid lane plays, plus Miracle, just the aggressive style of Nature's Prophet, TPing from lane to lane. In the first 7 kills, Nature's Prophet have been a part of every single one.
I'd completely agree. It was just a case of the Nature's Prophet had beautiful presence on the map. The more action you can get into with a Nature's Prophet, the more effective it will be. This is why you don't see a Nature's Prophet ever idly farm. He can go for couriers. He can jump into any fight he pleases. And with that Blade Mail build, he doesn't really care about any returned damage going on to him. It's a brilliant way to play it, and I'm looking forward to game number 2, certainly.
Yeah, so am I indeed. So guys, that's where we're heading now, into game number 2's lobby. Hopefully no forfeits, no nothing, and just see you there, guys. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed us, you can always follow us as well. You can find all the necessary links below the stream, but hope to see you in game 2.